Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I want to start off by saying that any and all thoughts and opinions are just that, thoughts and opinions. In no way am I sharing professional advice when it comes to physical and mental health. These videos are simply for fun and to provide my thoughts on the topic. Do not send any hate to anyone I talk about, and please be kind in the comments. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. We're going to get back to more foodie beauty content today. This video is about a Subway mukbang and her talking about the disappearance of Brandon Swanson. So let's just get straight into it, shall we?
It's the dead silence after he goes missing, after he says those words. It's the dead silence after he says those words that really just like, it's so eerie.
I know Chantal doesn't have any emotional depth, but do you really get to shove food in your mouth while you're actively talking about a missing person?
Hello guys, hi! So, today I have some Subway. They have a deal where you get a side, a drink, and a 4-inch sub, which I've never had, but I decided to have this and pair it with some bonus noodles. Yes.
I don't know why, but when she says bonus noodles, it just annoys me as if it's like some sort of treat on the side. Like, you could just eat the sub. Eat the sub. It's better than having ramen, which literally you said 2 or 3 videos ago that you're going to stop eating them.
So I got a spicy, I think a spicy BMT. So let me see this spicy BMT. Oh, it's like a 6-inch. Okay, all they put on it is like pepperoni with nothing on it. That's so weird. No cheese, nothing. I'll be right back. Okay, I added my own toppings, so.
Now, I can't tell if this was laziness or if this was like they took a look at her and they're like, girl, you don't need all that stuff, so we're just going to give you the bare minimum.
But all I had was ketchup, mustard, mustard, mayo, and cheese, so. And a Coca-Cola Zero. These are the best ketchup chips ever. They're Hector's ketchup. Bismillah and Beauty Bite. Okay, so you know how I love mysteries.
Damn, she has gone right in on those noodles. They don't even stand a chance.
In particular, unsolved mysteries. Need a napkin. And I've been watching the new season of Unsolved Mysteries, but I came across this mystery of a young guy of 19 years of age who disappeared, and just the way he disappeared was so tragic for his family. And I mean, no disrespect talking about this case, but
now, me personally, I like to watch a lot of those shows, and I wouldn't really say that I like, you know, true crime, because obviously I like the concept of it, the mystery, the solving the cases, the interviews, and just everything that goes into the work of finding out what happened. But I don't obviously like, you know, the real life events. You know, I don't want anyone getting hurt or, you know, disappearing or anything like that. It's a sad thing for the family members, but I wouldn't really say that you eating a bunch of food and taking bites every 2 seconds is the most respectful way of talking about someone disappearing.
It's really, really bizarre. And I really hope that this guy is found. But the conditions in which he disappeared were just so weird. And I have my other phone here to look at because I don't have a good memory with like little details. So it's the case of Brandon Swanson. He was 19 and he was from Marshall, Minnesota. And on May 14th, 2008, just after midnight.
The act of talking about someone disappearing is not disrespectful, but doing it while actively eating and shoving food in your mouth during mid-sentences is just flat out disrespectful, Chantal. Like, I mean, you're in your 40s, for Christ's sakes. Can you at least get the bare minimum of empathy and actually respect the person enough to wait before you shove food in your mouth?
Um, he drove his car into a ditch. Survived that without a scratch. So he called his parents. He didn't know where he was, but he thought that he was near a town called Lind.
I have actually seen the disappearance case in which he's talking about, but just, God, this woman infuriates me. This is just gonna piss me off so much. She is such a word that I can't say on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure we all know the word I'm talking about.
I'm guessing also Minnesota. And his parents were like, okay, we're gonna come get you, just stay where you are. So he stayed where he was for quite a while, on the phone with his parents. And, you know, occasionally there would be interference and stuff, but he stayed on the phone. And he stayed on the phone with his parents until, you know, they couldn't find him. You know, they had their lights on, they were looking around in the direction where he thought he was, and they couldn't find his car or Brandon on the side of the road at all. So Brandon decided to start walking towards some lights, he thought, you know, towards the town of Lind, and told his dad to just pick him up in a known parking lot of an establishment. I think it was either a restaurant or a bar. So his dad was like, okay, and headed over towards that area. Now, Brandon was walking through a field, apparently. I think I saw somewhere he was walking through like a dark field, but it would have been dark regardless, you know. So he started walking towards Lind, and what he thought was Lind, and 47 minutes later, all the while he's still on the phone with his parents hear, oh shit, and then silence, until the parents had to finally disconnect the call and try to call again. But imagine, like, you know, you hear, oh shit, and then silence for a while, and you're like, Brandon, and there's no answer. Like, you know, it was just so eerie because they didn't hear anything else.
I have nothing other to say this has to be rage bait, because, like, how is a 40-year-old woman going to shove a sub in her mouth while actively talking about the disappearance of a 19-year-old? Like, there are so many other ways of doing this in the most respectful manner, and yet this is not it. This is definitely not it. It's not a good look, Foodie, and I know that people are going to support this because they're morons, and God, I was going to start showing the comments and stuff like that, but I know for a fact if I read a bunch of comments of people kissing her ass, I'm gonna goddamn rage.
Now, it turns out Brandon was actually, his cell signal, his cell phone records showed that he was actually not going where he thought he was going. He was actually going 40 kilometers, about 25 miles, in the opposite direction to where he thought he was going. So no wonder no one could find him. He was coming from like a party, like end of spring semester party. So people were wondering if maybe he was intoxicated and disoriented. But his parents said he sounded very coherent.
I don't really remember every single detail of the case, and I don't remember how it ends, or at least where it ends up to. But, you know, when you're in a car crash, it could be any matter of things that happen. You could get a concussion, your brain could be rattled, your adrenaline's going to be just through the roof. Not to mention it's late at night, so you're going to be scared, you're in the middle of nowhere, you just had an accident, and you're really out of your element. So people make, I want to say stupid decisions, but they make bad decisions.
Not inebriated at all. Plus, he shouldn't have been driving if he was drinking. But people still do. But since he's never found, there's no way to test his alcohol level. So, So in the morning, his parents reported him missing to the Lynn police. Who were like, just kind of like, wait a while, this happens with young people. You know, maybe he's just out somewhere, yada, yada, yada.
I know that a lot of police officers are infamously, you know, terrible at their jobs, but how are you going to really go to the police and be like, hey, my son had a car crash, he's disappeared, he won't pick up his phone, we have no idea where he is, we have no way of contacting him, and they're going to be like, yeah, he could be a runaway, or, you know, this stuff happens, like, you know, wait until he shows up. What? You know, he was in a car crash. He could literally be bleeding out, he could be any matter of things, he could be injured, concussed, you know, unconscious. Why are we just going to wait 24 hours?
So the search, because of that, started for him late. There's some controversy about that, about starting searches late, like waiting a while just because he's an adult. Like, I think they passed a Brandon's law, which means like police have to take into account certain factors before deciding on starting a search. Because in my opinion, like, okay, yeah, let's say, you know, he just didn't come home, like it was the next morning, they found that he didn't come home. Maybe he just like got drunk, passed out, and didn't come home right away. That's a little different than him kind of, you know, being in a car crash and then saying, oh shit, and then nothing. You know, like, to me, they should have started the investigation right away. So they should take into those factors of the situation, but like case by case basis, not just like a one size fits all kind of deal.
I never really understood the 24-hour rule, because even police officers and detectives say themselves that 24 hours to 48 hours is the most crucial time period, because that is the highest likelihood of them being alive. So how are you going to make the most crucial time period waiting? Like, just wait until they potentially come home. And I understand it takes away from resources and time, but if someone's life is at stake, wouldn't you think you would allocate those resources for the most crucial time period? And on top of that, he was in a car crash. Again, he could be injured. There could be anything wrong with him. Like, people can pass away so easily from just a simple knock on the head. Like, you can get a bump on your head, you can think you'll be fine, you go to bed, and you won't wake up. So, being in a car crash could be fatal. Don't you, like, I don't understand how that makes any sense whatsoever. It's just, it infuriates me, honestly. That's, like, just the most infuriating part about true crime, is the fact that people are not willing to put in the effort in order to potentially save someone's life.
So they also had sniffer dogs that led them around the Yellow Medicine River, but no body was ever found in the river. There was no other evidence to suggest that he did fall in the river, because his last known location was near the Yellow Medicine River, apparently. My thought on that is, wouldn't they hear a splash? Wouldn't they hear him calling for help as he's drowning? Or, you know what I mean? It's the dead silence after he goes missing, after he says those words. It's the dead silence after he says those words that really just like, it's so eerie.
How the hell are you going to say those words and then proceed to shove food in your mouth? Like, it is such a disconnect. Plus, it would be highly likely that he was to fall in the river, his phone would go with him, which, unless it's waterproof, the phone would have disconnected on its own. So if the parents hung up, it wouldn't really make that much sense. Because, I mean, the phone would stop and then the phone call would stop.
And if he was grabbed, wouldn't you hear her struggle? Wouldn't you hear her call out for help?
Yeah, even if the phone wasn't on loudspeaker and it was just on person-to-person call, then it would probably still pick up some sort of struggle, especially if he did notice someone was behind him. So it's just a very weird case overall.
I hope sincerely that they do find answers someday. The theory that he ran away, wanted to go missing, is kind of bizarre to me. It doesn't make sense. Because why would he crash his car? Or why would he call his parents to find him?
I mean, weirder things have happened. A lot of people have faked their death in order to get out of situations they don't necessarily want to be in. And, you know, it wouldn't be the first time that someone has really gotten away from a situation that people saw from an outside perspective that was supposed to be, you know, oh, an amazing, loving family. And you find out they're miserable and they've been traumatized and just dealt with such horrendous things. Like, there are so many messed up cases because of, you know, situations just like that, where you think, oh, the amazing family man turns out to be a serial killer, or the amazing mother turns out to be, you know, someone who unalived multiple of her children, or, you know, just there's a plethora of different reasons. Not that I'm saying that that happened. I'm specifically saying that, you know, situations like that happen. You don't know what happens behind closed doors unless really the mask slips and falls, and, you know, you find out eventually what happens. You know, anything could be happening really. So
The new season of Unsolved Mysteries, I've watched it because I'm a fan, but the new season is probably the weakest one, season 4, in my opinion.
I do understand what she means, and understand she doesn't really mean anything by it, but when you're talking about missing people in real life, you really shouldn't be speaking in that way. It should be a little bit more sensitive. But if she's talking more about, like, mysteries of ghosts and, you know, cryptids, or, like, just things that probably don't exist, and I know, you know, it's do they exist, do they not exist? I don't really believe in any of that stuff. It's just a bit of fun and entertainment for me. But speaking more about the real life stuff, probably a little bit more decorum and sensitivity when you speak about it, please.
They did a whole episode on the Mothman. Like, how many times has the Mothman been done?
Okay, so she is talking about that. I do apologize. I was thinking she was speaking more about the people in real life and not, you know, cryptids. So I do apologize for that. I got that wrong.
Not only that, they did an episode on the original series with Robert Stack. We don't need another one. Okay. Maybe for me, cryptids are not that interesting. Like, I used to be so afraid of Bigfoot. And if I saw Bigfoot today, I would be freaked out. But I kind of don't believe in any of that.
I tried to keep an open mind, but I don't necessarily agree with that type of stuff, because I think it's more so us creating partial truths, or really just trying to fill in the gaps of situations because we don't have, you know, the understanding of it. Like, we have the fear of the unknown, hope of the unknown, and that allows us to create ideas of religion and, like, cryptids and monsters and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think ghosts exist or souls exist or anything particularly to that type of standard either. So I think it's really just us creating situations to fill in the gaps, to cover for the fear of the unknown or for the hope of the unknown. And yeah, it could be good for entertainment, it could be for fun, good for fun, and, like, it could be good for even morality reasons. Like, I don't believe in religion, but I think it does have places in society when it's not used by bad people to justify bad actions. God, I hope this video doesn't go to the conservatives, because I'm gonna have a bunch of pissed off people in the comments going, oh, so you think religion is like Bigfoot? Yeah, I just don't think it exists. And that's fine, because, you know, people are entitled to their own opinions.
Although, I don't dispute that people do see these things. It's just like, the Mothman could kind of be anything. You know? A huge crane, or I don't know. Could be anything big that squawks.
Jesus Christ, I wasn't expecting a jump scare in a video. I had headphones in and I didn't expect a voiceover. Oh god, that was horrendous.
I really don't get it. I found that episode boring. If you like the Mothman, okay, but
I don't know what it is, but with the LGBT, you automatically love cryptids. It's just like, it's like a moth to a flame. Like, straight away, if you're gay, you love the Mothman. You love the Wendigos, the Skinwalkers, the Chupacabras, all that type of stuff. Don't know what it is, just an unspoken rule.
and you want me to like do once a week or something, a true crime or mystery Monday?
Honestly, this video gave off the same energy as the people that go to graveyards and try to film ghosts. It's like, don't do that, because a graveyard is for the dead to rest and for the living to mourn. But if you are able to do it in a respectful manner and not eat food while you do it, like, I would really appreciate that. I think that'd be pretty cool. Like, have a nuanced conversation, talk about the type of things that happen throughout the investigation, and actually do it in a respectful manner and in an appropriate manner. People would actually probably enjoy that type of stuff. It just comes down to how you do it. You need to structure it in a way that is respectful, it is nuanced, and it just has a bit of decorum that doesn't involve you shoving food in your mouth every 2 seconds.
Let me know. When I'm traveling, of course, I'll put it on hold, but that was delicious. Decent size sub, actually. It was like a 6-inch. It wasn't like a 4-inch. Oh well, it was cheaper. Anyway, I guess that's it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Honestly, she probably just got the wrong order and still ate it, but this is the end of the video, so I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you could guys do a little bit of a quick Q&A in the comments below, just let me know how my voice is going. I have changed the video settings, and I also got an audio effect on my voice, so it should be louder, it should be cleaner, it should be crisper. Just let me know how it is, if anything needs to be changed or adjusted. I'm still working it out. I've had a couple issues, but it seems to be pretty much better now. I just want to get your opinion on it before I end the video. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.